Welcome to AutoCAD. My name's David Atkins. Today's episode comes from a comment that was made on my Excel video where I showed how to count blocks inside of AutoCAD. It says, I'd like to watch a video where I can count openings in 2D, and at the same time, when I click on the opening, I can leave a number there, like first opening leave a 1, second leave a 2, and so on. I thought this was a great video idea, and it just involves us to write a little bit of Lisp. Having done so, we can now click and count things around. Let's get started. Since ultimately our goal is to place text on the screen, the first thing we should do is see, well, how can we put text on the screen? There are two kinds of text in AutoCAD, multi-line text and regular text. And I've elected to do regular text in this case. The reason for that is after I finish counting, I might want to select all the text and erase it after I'm done. And if I set it as im-text, well, I might erase text I don't want. So let's take a look at that. We'll start by typing in the text command. Well, the first thing it asks us for is where does it start? Next, it asks us for the height. Next, it asks us for a rotation angle. And finally, it asks us to type in the text. Knowing that these are the steps that I'm looking for, I can start writing my Lisp. We're going to start more or less with a blank file. I've put some comments at the top. In previous episodes, we've talked about how to define a new command. It's quite simple. It's defun. Since we're going to make it a command, we have to include the C: section to it, and then give it a name. We're not going to pass it any arguments, so we can do a close parentheses, and that's finished. It's also a good idea to finish with the princ command so that it closes cleanly. With that set up, we can start putting our text command in here. We know that the command is text, and we know that it asks us for several things. It asks us for a point, it asks us for a height, it asks us for a rotation, and it asks us for the text itself. These are just placeholders for now. With this understanding, we can start to fill in what these values need to be. Now we can easily hard code most of this, so let's see here. I'm going to add a piece of text. I'm going to call it 1. The rotation, we're always going to set to 0. And the height, for now, we're going to set it. The difficult part will be getting the point from the user. User needs to be able to click on the screen and get the point. We're going to need to add a new command we haven't talked about yet. Getpoint. Getpoint requires a little bit of text here, so a new line, so it's on a separate line by itself. Click the location of the next text element. Right now, it's going to get this point, but it's not going to do anything with it. So we need to make sure that this point that we select gets assigned to a variable. We learned in the last episode how to create that. That's with set Q. We're going to give it a name, insertion point. And since we made a new parentheses, we need to close it on this side as well. So this will take the user input, assign it to this variable, and we need to tell the command to use that variable. This should allow us to click a point and it place the number 1. Let's find out if that's true or not. I'm going to click Run and Debug. I'm going to load it into my CAD file. Start the command, AutoCount. And it's asking it the right question. And when I click, hey, it's placing number 1. It kicks us out of the command, which isn't super helpful, but at least we have a starting place. The next step with this would be to allow me to click multiple times, and for AutoCAD to take each click and place the same number. So I'm going to enclose this setQ section into a while command. So while a person is clicking, each time they click, it's going to place a text element. Need to close off the parentheses. While people are clicking, it sets a variable. And every time they click, it should place a piece of text. Let's test this. Click, 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 click. Excellent. Our goal isn't to place the number 1 all over the place. What we want to do is we want to place it and have it count. In order to do that, we need to replace the hard-coded number with a variable. So real quick, we're going to set up a new variable. We're going to call this start number. We're going to set it to 1. When we come over here, we can replace this with start number. And, well, we've accomplished the exact same thing. It should still give us the number 1 each time. But now that we have that, we can have it increment this. So every time it goes through this, what we want to do is we want to change the value of start num. We're going to set this to add together start number and the number 1. Let's test this out. And there we go. We've already accomplished the main part of our goal. So far, this works pretty good. But looking at the values I have here, I have start number plus 1. But what if I want to count by a different number instead? Instead of counting by 1s, I'm going to count by 2s or 20s or 30s or whatever the heck I feel like I want to. So I'm going to replace this element with a new variable. I'm going to call this count by, and I'm going to set it to 2 for now. With this set up, I can replace the number 1 in my addition thing with the variable count by, and I should be able to test this out now. 1, 3, 5. Perfect. That's doing exactly what I wanted to do. As of now, this count by interval is determined by the code itself, and if I want to change this, I don't want to have to edit the Lisp routine in order to do that. I'd like AutoCAD to ask me what this should be. So rather than hard code the number 2, I'm going to ask AutoCAD to ask the user what value I want. I'm going to add another section. I'm going to get an integer. Using the getint command, I have the opportunity to tell the user what it should say, and so it's going to say, what is the count interval? Whatever the user types in here will be added to the count by, and now I should be able to change it on the fly. Let's find out. What is the current interval? 5. 1, 6, 11, 16. Perfect. Since it's quite possible I could be using this command and clicking a number of count points and then have to cancel it for reasons and then start the numbering over again, I don't want to start by 1 each time. I want to be able to choose it. So I'm going to do the exact same thing for the start num. I'm going to do a get integer, and I'm going to say, what is the starting number? I should be able to run and debug. What is the starting number? We'll say 4. What is the count interval? Let's say 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, fantastic. We now have the ability to count from any starting number at any interval. We can now change our start number, but it would be nice if it remembered the last number I finished with so I can continue forward. I want to first check and see if start number has been set. So I'm going to add an if statement. If equals start num is blank, which is nil, then what I want it to do is set the start number to 1. If it's not nil, if this is the second or third or fourth time the command has been run, it will leave whatever the last value start number was in there, which is fantastic. Let's test this real quick. I'll start with 2 and a count interval of 1 and click, click, click. When I finish the command and try it again, if I leave this blank, it still fails. Since I didn't insert a number, it's still leaving it as blank, and when it comes to the point of the code where it places the text, it can't place blank text. So I need to do a little bit more. To handle this, I'm going to change the name of the variable that comes in, temp. Then I'm going to check to see if someone actually typed in a value. So if temp start number, if it exists, then and only then, and apply it to our actual variable. If someone actually types a number, it will set that number to start number. But if someone doesn't type a number, it will leave the original value of start number. Let's test this out. So I'll start it for 2 with an interval of 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. When I start the command again, if I leave it blank, I'll need to type in 1 here. Oh no, I got an error. Bad argument type number P, unable to debug break position. What this lets me know is usually I forgot to put a parentheses. And you can see here, I did if, that stops there, which is not the right position for it. This parentheses is supposed to happen after, so it knows that's where the if goes. We'll reload this. And try it one more time. So start with 1, with a count interval of 1, 1, 2, 3, excellent. Start the command again, leave this blank, still give an interval of 1, and it should 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Now if I start the command again and give it a value of 4 as a starting point, counting by 2, it's still doing what I want. Fantastic. Whew, no, it's not. That's definitely not right, which means I made a mistake. Let's find out where that is. Over here, oh, I see. I called it TMP start number, didn't give it the same thing, so it's checking for something different. Fixing that issue and reloading it. So let's test this out. Get a little confused here, so I'm going to erase these and try it one more time. AutoCount, starting with 1, counting by 1s, 1, 2, 3, 4, enter to finish the command. Enter again to repeat it, and I'm going to leave this blank. Counting by 1s again, 5, 6, 7, 8. And at the same time, if I type in a new starting number, I can override it. This is exactly what I wanted to do. I'd like it to remember my count interval as well, so I'm going to add the same basic code to this area as well. Disconnect from AutoCAD, and add the same setting we had before. I'm going to add an if statement. If equals count by, it's nil, then I want to start it. Count by is going to be 1. That's the default. I'm going to add a temporary to this. If the temporary value exists, then I'm going to set my actual count by to the temporary count by value. Once again, just going to test it. Starting the command, let's start with 1, count by 3s, so 1, 4, 7, enter. Enter the command again. I'm going to leave the starting number alone. Count interval, leave it alone. And 10, 13, 16. The only thing I'm missing is some visual feedback to the user of where that starting number is going to begin. What is the saved version of this? I can do that by changing this prompt. Instead of saying, what is the starting number? I can say, this is the starting number we're currently set to, and invite people to change the number from there. To do this, I need to use our good friend string concatenation, because I need to take the text that I want to type and put in the variable that I already have. So I'm going to start with string concatenation. I need to put my extra parentheses here at the end, since I've already got some stuff here. I'm going to go ahead and put a new line here this time. Counting from, a couple spaces here, and that's the beginning of it. The end of this would be something like this, just to make a pretty command prompt. Unfortunately, though, I just can't type in start number. I am going to get an error, and if I try it, you'll see, ooh, bad argument type. So I'm trying to put a integer into a string, and AutoCAD does not like that. Well, that's pretty simple. I'm going to add a command that will convert the integer into a string. The command is rtos, or real to string. And it has a couple of settings for it. I have to tell it what kind of format I want to put it in. 2 is decimal format. And I want to tell it how many decimals to show, and I just want to show 0. Let's test this out. And there we go, counting from. Fantastic. It shows me the value it currently is. Let's see if that's true if I hit enter. And 1 for the count interval. 22, 23, 24. Excellent. The error that popped up was just because I hit escape to get out of the command instead of enter. I can see I want to add a little bit of an angle here just to enclose that. Let's try that one more time. And that is exactly what I want. Perfect. It's remembering what it is, it's filling in the value for me, and giving me very good feedback of what's about to happen. Let's do the same thing for count by. I'm just going to copy this bit of code right here, the string concatenation function, and replace the string that's already there. I'll give it some different text, counting from, counting interval. I'm going to start from the count by, of course. And this should allow it to remember and show me on the screen exactly what that counting interval was. Let's find out. And even though I'm reloading it each time, it still remembers the last thing I was in. 12, 2 is exactly what I want. Building off the previous videos in this series, setting variables and string concatenation, which you can find linked below, we learned several new functions. Getting points or numbers from a user in the middle of a routine does a lot to make it more interactive and flexible. Being able to check and see if the user actually typed something in or not prevents annoying errors from popping up. And nesting commands in a while loop allows us to place multiple items without having to restart the command each time. Hopefully this solves the problems that Vinicus had asked about and maybe solve something for you too. You can download the routine from the link below. If this helped you out, clicking the like button would be nice. If you download this and aren't sure how to use the file, you can check out my previous video on loading Lisp routines. It's easy. I'm still not finished with AutoCount just yet. There are too many hard-coded elements in it, and not enough chances for me to change settings while using the command. The text height is hard-coded, the text style and layer is just whatever the current one is, and to top it off, we are using text, or we might want to use something else, like a block. I can't just leave it like this. So be on the lookout for a couple of videos that will help you make this routine more professional. I'll be making one on how to create attribute-based blocks first, then part 2 for this routine where we'll make it more flexible for a wider range of uses. So click subscribe so you don't miss out. Click the bell to be notified right when it's released. Finally, if you're interested in any of my AutoCAD, Revit, Inventor, Civil 3D, MicroStation, 3ds Max, Fusion 360, or SketchUp classes, find out more at AtkinsTechConsulting.com. As always, I'm David, and happy CADing.